when I met with, my friend, he's in February 2018, so I was 21 at that time. And I said, okay, I will meet you after my finals. So I met him middle of February 2018. And I went to their house. They showed me the IRP presentation, they showed me the business presentation, and they made me sit on this very comfy couch. Take note, okay? The whole time I was watching this presentation, I was actually like this. I was falling asleep, but that's like every nursing class I was in as well, okay? So I was falling asleep, but somewhere, somehow I said yes. So this is why I always tell people that I actually joined Great Way blindly, okay? So for those guests or students here that are just observing, do this business blindly because what do you have to lose? Nothing, right? If you do this business, you actually have more to gain than what you have to lose, okay? So that was the day that changed my life for the better, okay? And that was my journey up the mountain. So everybody here will have a journey up the mountain, all right? So this is the beginning. When you start, you're so excited, right? You think about all the people you can share this to. You're so excited, okay? And when we were hiking, the reason why I chose this topic is because we were hiking, all right? So we were supposed to go on a very easy trail, which is called Dog Mountain Trail. And then we ended up in Mount Seymour, okay? So it was a very hard hike, all right? And the thing is also, when I joined Great Way, I didn't know what I got myself into. But the first day I was at the Calgary office, my first time in the office, I saw people welcoming me and they're hugging me. And I was like, wow, these people are so weird. Why are they hugging each other? Because in my family, we don't hug each other. We don't really say we love each other. So when I joined Great Way, I was like, wow, this is so different. Like, how come all these parents are hugging their kids? They're saying they love you. Everything that I didn't have, right? So, when I went to the office, that's really how I found my purpose, all right? And the more times I went, the more that I discovered my purpose. And that was really to build a family culture in my family, all right? So, and every time I went to the office, I discovered what I didn't like in my life. And number one, so whenever I thought about quitting, I always thought about my parents fighting about money. And whenever I thought about giving up, I always thought about me and my siblings thinking money is an evil thing, because that's what our parents taught us, right? And whenever I felt like giving up, I always thought about having to work as a nurse, and I never want to work a job, okay? And if I gave up, I would never be able to travel the world. So every time I ran into challenges in my journey here in Great Way, I thought about the things that I will never achieve if I gave up. Same with you guys. And I really want you to think about this, because whatever job that you go into, ask yourself, who is the oldest working person there? And who is the longest working person there? And what is their life? Because the sad reality is their life will also be exactly your life. So when I thought about nursing, I was like, wow, I never met a nurse that was able to travel the world. I've never met a nurse that had time freedom. I've never met a nurse that was not in debt. So why would I be a nurse? Doesn't make sense, right? So that's when I really thought, like, wow, change starts with me. Nobody is gonna change my life but me. Nobody's gonna change your life but you. So I'm so happy that you guys are all here taking charge of your life. So every day I thought, like, wow, my family, my siblings, they're not gonna change my future, it's me. challenges you go through, always think about your reason why and what you don't like in your life. Alright? So, number 2, you join this business and you run into mosquitoes. Just like hiking, there were so many mosquitoes. Alright? So, you join this business, you're like, wow, 6-3P, I have so many people, I can share this to so many people. I want to help all of them. But then, there's the mosquito, okay? And my first mosquito was my mom. And my mom noticed that I was more focused on Great Way than my nursing. And this one day, she told my little sister that if Erika doesn't finish nursing, she fails me. And as a daughter, of course that hurts, right? But again, my parents don't know what I'm doing for them. So, guess what? I didn't listen to them again. Okay? I didn't listen to them. I didn't listen to any of their negativity. So I decided that I will sacrifice my time away from my family. So I never went home for Christmas. I never went home for reading week. I never went home for any holiday from school. Okay? I just stayed in Red Deer and focused on what I wanted to achieve. Alright? And if I keep going past these mosquitoes, I will make it up the mountain. Same with you guys. If you just ignore all those negativity, you will eventually become very successful in this business. Because that's a skill, actually. Alright? So, another mosquito is my family. So, every time I see my family, they don't even ask, how are you? Their first word is, oh, did you get a real job yet? Why don't you just be a nurse? Or, are you even making money? But again, I didn't listen to them because I looked at them and I was like, wow, I don't want that life. So I didn't listen to them because I was already exposed to so many successful people here in Greyway. And my family, they're not really successful that I like where I want to be, right? So why would I follow them? I would rather follow Greyway people, alright? So number 3 is the bear, the looker and the supporter. Why do I call the bear a looker? Because when we were hiking, some of them saw a bear. And they said the bear just looked at them and walked away. So that's the same in this business because people will just watch you and see if you will fail or succeed. It's very true, right? But what if they watch you and you are so successful? That's what should push you to keep going, alright? So, also, you need supporters during your hike up the mountain. You need to have positive people around you to motivate you to go up the mountain. And that's what Paul said, right? Supposed to have a picture of him. But he was taking all the pictures. So, my family was out of my list. I didn't have friends. And when I was in school, I never wanted to make friends. That's why I sit in the front by myself. I just wanted to focus on my studies and go home, study, go back to school. Alright? And I was so shy. I was so shy to the point that if I had presentation, I would skip class. Alright? And I was so shy that if I am 2 minutes late for class, I wouldn't show up. So, guess what I had to do when I joined this business? I started making virtual friends. Alright? So, okay. So, 98% of my team are actually from Facebook. So, how come we have so many free resources, but you guys aren't utilizing it? What if we put a price to it? Are you going to take it more seriously? Right? So, utilize these free social media things. Alright? And in this business, I realized that more strangers will support you than the people that you know.
True.
Alright?
101%.
101%. Alright?
I was it too.
So now, my question to you is, are you going to give up because your family and friends don't support you? No? No? Okay. That's good. Alright? And again, like I said, 98% of my team are strangers. They're strangers that slowly became my friends and my family in this business. So, really, if you guys don't have friends, you can still be successful in this business. Alright? So, again, are you gonna give up when one person says no, when 10 people say no? Because we need to have this kind of mindset. I haven't failed, I just found 100 ways that don't work. 10,000 ways that won't work. So if you ask someone for an appointment and it doesn't work, okay, ask another way. Why are we taking it so seriously, right? So, you know why strangers support you more than the people that you know? It's because that they have a tough time accepting you came from the same place, but they are still in the same place. Alright? So keep going, okay? So, and let's say for example, you ask someone for an appointment, and guess what? They said no. Okay? He said no. So, you didn't have an appointment before you asked, and now you don't have an appointment after you asked. So, did the situation change? No, right? And if you say yes, I really want you to listen to this. Rejection hurts because of one of two reasons. One, you took it too personally. And two, you cause it to you cause it to stop taking action. You cause it for you to stop taking action. Alright? And in this business, remember, we always say assume what you want. Okay? So assume you will get what you want. Because when you face the potential rejection, the fear you feel is actually real. Okay? It's actually this almond-shaped thing in your mind called the amygdala. Alright? And this amygdala actually triggers the fight or flight response. Okay? And this part of your brain is actually designed to keep you alive. And it doesn't know the difference of a snake hissing at you and a person saying no to you. Alright? Your mind, your amygdala, it all looks the same. So it prepares your body and mind to fight or run. It begins shutting down non-essential parts of your body. Okay? And it is preparing you for peak performance so you stay alive. Okay? So this is why you feel physically anxious before you ask for an appointment. Alright? So your mind actually overthinks. You sweat, you're scared. Okay? And your mind is already subconsciously preparing for a no. Alright, so this is the root cause of fear. But I want you to remember this. When people reject you, it's not you as a person. When people reject you, just see it as a detour. Maybe that's God protecting you from that person. Alright? So whenever you have rejection, always remember this acronym. SW, SW, SW. So what does it stand for? Some will, some won't. So what? Someone is waiting. Look for that person that is waiting for this opportunity. Because you never know who it is. Alright? So, when rejection comes, just say next. Okay? And in this business, you will have winter. People that reject you, they cancel their application, they don't apply. That's okay. So you add them to your spring. Your spring is your 5-2-1, right? You build relationship to earn trust. And then eventually it will be your summer. They applied, they settled, and sometimes they will become the new seed in your business. Alright? So, number 4, the wrong way. That's why we need our mentors, we need our AGA, we need our navigator, right? Because during our hike, we actually got lost. So Jakes was actually our navigator. And during our hike, he told us to bring food, bring instant noodles, and he will bring the gas stove so we can eat at the top of the mountain. So that's the same here in this business. When whoever invited you here, they didn't invite you here just to invite you here. They invited you here so they could change your life for the better. Alright? So if they tell you to do this, do that, do it. Because again, their intention is to help you have a better life. Because they experienced it, they saw it here in Great Way. Alright? So again, in this business, the navigator is actually ourselves too. Because we really have to treat this business like a business, so it will pay us like a business. Because if you treat this business like a hobby, of course it's gonna cost you like a hobby. So when I started Great Way, I actually treat this business like a job. I set a time every single week, and I will focus on it during those times. So for students here, put it in your calendar and make it a job. If you don't show up, guess what? You're fired, okay? So add it to your calendar, all right? And another navigator in our business is actually our mind, okay? If you have a fixed mindset, you will probably already go back down the mountain because you're exhausted, you're tired, mosquitoes are biting you, right? And it's okay to have a fixed mindset because we were born to have a fixed mindset. But when you keep coming to the office, when you keep learning, that's when you will develop your growth mindset. Because most of us, when we joined, we didn't have a growth mindset, right? We learned, we developed that skill, okay? So it's very important to have a growth mindset because whatever happens in this business, you will see the good in every situation, all right? You will always want to grow, right? And whenever challenges happen, you will see how you can improve, okay? So after university, I went back home. So I lived in Wainwright, and half my team lives in Edmonton. All right, and this was before I met Dan, okay? So my team lives in Edmonton. That's a 2-hour drive every single week. And some of you guys just live 10 minutes away and you don't even show up. Why? All right? Every single week, I would drive 2 hours from Wainwright to Edmonton. And during that time, I only had 3 advisors that drive. One advisor didn't want to help my team. So I was like, okay, I need to step up, all right? So I took everything in my own hands to pick up all my students and my advisors. So imagine, I drive 2 hours from Wainwright to Edmonton, and I have to drive around the whole city because they all live on every single side of the city. So one lives in south, west, and then north. And then I have to drive back to south because that's where the office is. And every single week, I get home at 3 a.m. And Dan witnessed this because we were just talking before. So I would get home 3 a.m. every single week. Imagine, nobody wanted to help me, but as a leader, I have to step up for my team. Alright? But I'm grateful because now my sacrifices, my team is duplicating that for their team. Alright? So during those 2-hour drives, I saw the good in that situation because every week, 2-hour drive, I listened to a podcast. I listened to an audiobook, right? And I learned a lot, all right? So you really need to feed your mind with good things. Because if you want want to be a doctor, what will you feed your mind? About medicine. If you want to be a nurse, you feed your mind with nursing stuff. If you want to be a lawyer, you feed your mind with law, right? You will read books about law. So if you really want to become successful here in Great Way, read and listen to books about success and business, all right? So, again, during that time, sometimes the meeting ends at 3 a.m. I have to drop everyone off. It's already 4 a.m. probably. So I have to stay at a hotel, all right? So before, I was spending about $500 to $1,000 per month on a hotel, okay? And I was thinking like, wow, what if I just put that towards a house, okay? So I decided to go house hunting. 3 weeks before my possession date, which is around middle of May, my possession date was June 6, 2022. And I got a call from my mortgage broker. Erika, you owe some tax. So guess what? I owe $23,000 in tax. And if you guys don't have a house yet, you need to pay this off before you buy a house. And I only have 3 weeks, all right? But thank God for Great Way. I already had that money, so it was no problem. So I had $10,000 in cash, and then the rest was from my savings account. So, and I went to the bank. I gave them this cash. They're like, oh, where did you get the money? Like, so, this is the good thing about Great Way. And for new people here, you really need to see the bigger picture. I know when you start, it's very small. You're just testing the waters. But don't test the waters, fully jump in, okay? And then when you fully jump in, that's when you will see the very, very amazing part about Great Way, all right? And number 5, this way, okay? You really, really need to be persistent, right? All right? Because, when you hike, it's very exhausting. But like Peter said, it will be hard, but as long as you know the end is beautiful, you will keep going. And the end journey here in Great Way is not really the end, it's just the beginning. It's very, very beautiful. See all these advisors, they're doing this full time, but their hours are part-time. And they have more time for their family, they're able to travel more, they're able to do the things that they love, all right? So, I just want you guys to put yourself in my shoes, okay? Back in March 2022, COVID happened, and this happened to me. So this is my CFT, my SVPs at the time. There's my half-sleeping AGA, and then there's me and my team. During COVID, March 2022, my SVPs decided they will do a different thing. And I support them, right? Because this business is not for everyone. But they didn't just leave, they also took my team with them. Not just one, not just two, not just 3, but a handful of them. So during COVID, my whole team decided to leave me. Not my whole team, half of my team. And my half-sleeping AGA fully went to sleep. And then, there's just me. At that time, I could have quit too, because I have nobody. I don't know who's my next EVP, SVP, whatever, right? I was just alone. But I saw the good in this situation. It just meant that my foundation, also the CFT above also left. Okay? It just meant that my foundation is not strong enough. So it's like the 3 little pigs. My foundation was made out of hay. It was made out of sticks. So what do I have to do? I need to build a stronger foundation that's made out of bricks. So in this business, you need to build a very strong foundation. Some people will quit, some people will keep going, some people will be slow, but it's okay, right? And you really need to stay in the line.
Right.
Alright? Please stay in the line, because if my SVP didn't leave, today he actually has 4 SVPs under him, and he would have been the youngest EVP here in Great Way at the age of 26.
Wow.
Imagine. So, stay in the line. Alright? And number 6, slow. Sometimes your business will be slow. Not everybody will move like you. Sometimes it will, The plan, when we were hiking, the plan was supposed to be an hour hike. But it ended up to be a 3-hour hike. Okay? So, that's the same with this business. Some people will be sleeping.
Oh no.
Some people will be sleeping, and that's okay. Right? So, find new blood in your team. Right? So again, I talked about winter. Winter is when they don't apply, they cancel their application. You will add them to your spring. 5-2-1, build relationship, and then there's summer. Okay? Summer is when they will apply, and sometimes there will be a new seed in your team. Alright? But during that time, I was in my fall season. What is fall? So fall is actually charge back. So when my team left March 2020, all their plans lapsed about October. In October, I had 0 income. November, 0 income. December, 0 income. January, February, March, 0 income. And this is my full-time career. I don't have anything else. Right? And at that time, now my question to you guys is, if this happens to you, are you gonna give up?
No.
I hope you will stay true to your word, okay? Alright? Actions speak louder than words. So, 6 months of chargeback. Alright? But again, I had to keep going because I don't want to work as a nurse. And I don't want to prove my parents right. Alright, so I had to keep going. Okay? And I didn't want to settle for an ordinary life. Because if I gave up, I would be settling for an ordinary life. And if you guys give up, you will be settling for an ordinary life. Alright? So keep going, because this is what an ordinary life looks like. You go work a full-time job. You go to the job that you love so much every single day for 40 years of your life. Okay? And you work 40 hours a week. Times 4 weeks a month, that's about 160 hours per month that you are spending time at your job than your own family. Isn't that amazing? Alright? But see the bigger picture here in Great Way. Last month, in BC, the average salary is under $50,000. That's about $4,000 per month. That's not enough to live, right? So, this business, you can make that in just 1 year, half a year, 3 months. It's very, very doable, okay? And I'm grateful that I joined Great Way when I was 21. Because last month, I was traveling, I'm working, and I only worked 39 hours. That's 1 week of full-time work, right? I worked 39 hours and I made $13,000 in just 1 month. So, this is just my active income, alright? So make sure that you stay in the line. I've only been 4 years here in Great Way, alright? And number 7, the destination. That's when you will realize your sacrifices have really paid off, alright? So whatever you're doing now, make sure that you keep going. Because of course, you need to work hard in the beginning. At the end, you can enjoy a little bit, alright? So at the top of the mountain, we didn't bring enough water for the noodles. So all of us had to sacrifice our water. So when we went down the mountain, none of us had water, okay? And it was very hot and exhausting, all right? But we sacrificed so our team, our hikers could enjoy, okay? So that's the same with this business. You are a leader. Lead by example, okay? Because whether you do something or not, your team is always looking at you. So make sure you're always doing the right thing, all right? And I did not have to dream anymore. I made it a reality. And I want each and every one of you guys to make your dreams a reality. Because that's the vision here in Great Way. We all want you guys to be successful, not just us. Because it's actually very lonely at the top by yourself. But what if your whole team can also experience the life that you have also experienced, all right? And if I gave up during my journey, I wouldn't have become the youngest SVP here in Great Way. And if I gave up, I wouldn't be able to experience passive income. Every month, I get like 3,000, 6,000, 5,000, 10,000. So really focus in this because it's really real. I experienced it. A lot of advisors experienced this, all right? And behind these numbers are the people's that lives have changed for the better, directly and indirectly. So help more people achieve their dreams, all right? And if I already gave up, I wouldn't be able to bring people on one of the biggest cruise ships in the world, all right? Because now that I'm thinking, if I was just a nurse, I would never be able to bring anyone on the cruise. I would only be able to bring myself. But back in 2019, I was able to bring 3 people on the cruise. And I was like, wow, I need to bring more people next time. Last March 2022, I brought 23 people on the cruise ship. So you really will want to give back to your team because your success wouldn't be without them, right? So again, will your job ever be able to help you bring 23 people on a cruise ship?
No way. No way.
No, so there you go. You answered your own question, all right? And not just that, I was able to also bring my parents.
Wow.
I brought my family. I paid for their flight. I paid for their hotel, their car, everything. They didn't have to. I proved them wrong, yes. So, and that's the best feeling in the world when you can give back to your parents. So for millennials here, really focus so that you can give back to your parents. And for the not so millennials, maybe for your kids. And you have the power So anyways, you have the power to change the lives of many people, directly and indirectly. So keep going and never ever give up. Because you never know whose life you can change for the better. Alright? So I want you